it does, because like what I says on the website is a really true statement, that iron sharpens iron, and only men can sharpen men. Only men can look at other men and say, mate, I'm being a dickhead, or mate, this is what I got right, you should give it a try it on for size. You know, like, the girls can't do it for us. We've got to do it for ourselves in men. And I don't go to the pub, so sitting there at the pub having a beer with mates, I rarely get to do that. Okay, so where else am I going to see fellas to sharpen myself up? You know, and I've got 4 kids, I've got a beautiful wife, I'm trying a different thing with the trade thing, so my time is so limited. And this is why I think shed nights are so important for someone like me, because I can get alongside other blokes like you and, mate, hear stories. Listen to where blokes fall down and listen to where they stand up, and listen to how they stay strong, and listen to how they love their women and how they do it. You know, I need to hear stories from other blokes how to live in a world where achievement is everything. It's what I was saying about that drivenness is that, you know, if you watch your TV and listen to your radios and stuff like that, and listen to the media coming at you, you know, only these achieving blokes are good blokes. You know, that you've got to be so driven, you've got to have the cars and the houses and the holidays and the drive and the determination and the power and the strength and all this sort of thing. And, you know, a lot of the time that's not what a relationship is about.
Duncan, just hang in on the drivenness there for a minute, because you know, here I am at 57 years old. I wish I was still 57, but, you know, at 57, I knew very differently. God showed me that I was so driven not to be like my father. So I was an absolute pain in the neck to a lot of people sitting in this room, because it wasn't just my passion, it was my drivenness. And my 3 sons are grown men now, and I had to actually go to them and say, look, does this affect you? I've been doing this. I'm sorry. Forgive me for all the crap that I've pushed on you blokes, for my drivenness to not be like my father. And, you know, Lloydie's copping it today, but I remember going to the big Scripps Union dinner in at the city there one night, and I was raving on and carrying on and getting higher and higher and higher, and Lloydie just looked at me and he said, shut up. Because he knows what I'm like, and he's put up with my drivenness as my mate to a point where I think, gee, as mates we tolerate, there's a point where we actually can help each other and say, you know, why don't you wake up to yourself for a while or something, you know? So I'm really happy you're able to talk to the boys about that. Anyway, what's going on business-wise? You going all right? You getting a quid?
Yeah, I'm going okay.
What's okay mean?
Oh, yeah, I'm making some money.
Yeah.
I'm proud of what I do, but I've been wanting to stop what I've been doing for a long time.
Yeah.
But again, it comes back to that achievement trail and drivenness. I'm sort of not willing to give it up and just go straight into the trade full time and things like that. So I'm sort of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. But I can see a time where I'm just doing carpentry work, believe it or not. I've really had enough of sort of, you know, being that drivenness and getting out there in the corporate market and getting my name out there and leveraging my name and image and things like that. I'll always be proud of being an Olympic gold medalist, but I've sort of set up this whole business around the name and the image, and it sort of trapped me a little bit. And so I find it very hard to walk away from it because of the income that it provides and the lifestyle and everything like that. But really what I want to do is just basically be a tradesman.
Be Duncan. And, you know, a lot of we men, sadly, because of our achievements and the desire that's within us to the challenge of everything we do, we can hit hard. And there's a lot of blokes here today that are really, they've had the crapper knocked out of them, you know. But, you know, I've seen so many men restored, because in that time when we're really down, instead of trying to work it out with our heads like you were doing with your wife, you actually let God come into the turbocharge, and when he does that job on here, then this is different. And then your women can come to you, and actually you're ready to go into the real you. And you won't need to walk around with the name Duncan Armstrong. You know, you're loved and honoured by the blokes around you for who you are. And that identity, that's the classic of identity in Australia. You know, if your name's not Duncan, or I don't know this bloke, you know, that's kills us. Whereas what happens here in Shed is that every bloke's a champion, because when we realise that it's the big fella, he sits us on his knee and say, "You're my boy, and I'm proud of you, and you're doing a good job." Duncan, I'm proud to be. Every time I do something, you say, "Watto, I'm up the front with you," and that makes me very proud to be with you, just because you're a good bloke.
Thanks,
Have you got one more little thing you want to let go with the boys? He's
Yeah,
coming back up to have a talk to Simon Black later. And he's got to go and do a little bit of limbering up after this to get himself right for the swim.
Yeah, look, this year I think I've found more than anything else a great deal of thankfulness that we live in Australia, that we are mates with so many people, there are blokes out there, and that God really wants a relationship with us. And when I get in my head and I get my achievement thing going and I look at things and I go, right, let's go. And it's all for the wrong reasons. It's all to get stuff. It's all to get, bigger everything, I get in my head, and then when I get to church and I have a prayer, and, I don't know about you guys, but I love to worship. Does anyone worship at church? How good is it? Yeah. Because the music's so loud, no one can hear you sing so badly, But seriously, when I stand at church and I worship, and I got my missus stand beside me, it's like we're on our first date. Like, everything just drops off. Like, all that bullshit I carry on with about being a winner and a good-looking bloke, and which is working. But when I get in church and I have a worship, all that I guess insecurity and fear as a man that I feel, as a bloke that I feel, just drops off. Completely drops off, and I can stand there as myself, and I look at my missus, and she just looks at me and goes, "You're a tragic." And I'm singing away, and I'm just loving every second of it. And I can sit down and I feel completely refreshed again. Okay? So if you're sitting out there and you've never been to church, or you want to go to a happy clapper church with a good worship and all that kind of thing, give it a crack. Give it a crack, because you can actually just peel, like an onion, just peel off all that dodgy outer layer that you carry on with and spend all your time with all day and all week. And you just stand there and it feels like you're 15 again, or you're 14 again, when you knew nothing, but life was thrilling. And that's where I get out of church, and that's where I get with a relationship with Jesus. He's my mate. He's the best mate I have ever come across. Like, he'll never let me down, because he doesn't know how. And he'll just want me to be the best me that I can possibly be without the bullshit. And so, like, when I stand up there, and this year I've just tried to hone in next to him more and more and more and more, so I start hitting the right bullseyes for everybody. Me first, then everybody I'm in relationship with gets it. Okay, and that's what my relationship with Jesus is doing.
Champion.
And that's why I think the Shed movement is so very, very important, because it's a place that we can just get in there, peel off the bullshit, hear great stories, okay, take it away, have a think about it, like we do in our man caves, whatever it is, whether it be cars, remote cars, exercise, or wherever your man cave is. Just get in there, have a good old think about it, have a stew on it, and try it on for size. It might work for you. That's what it's all about.
Thanks, mate. We'll see you back with Simon Black and in the pool. Stand up and sit down again while Chad introduces